Howdy folks, Daniel Rubino here with WP Central, and today we got our hands on with Windows Phone 7.5, aka Mango. That's the phone on your left there, sporting on the Samsung Focus. To your right, another Samsung Focus running Nodo. We'll probably compare a couple things here. We're going to be doing a few videos on this because it's so massive and there's so much to cover, I can't possibly fit it all in one. But this first one is just going to be a quick overview of a few things that we might not have seen before. And I just want to show you the subtle little changes that they've made that really make a difference in everyday use. And that's really, for me, the main theme of Mango. It's the little things that they've done that have made it a lot better. One of the big things you will notice, but it's hard to show on video, is the speed at which scrolling works now. It's much more smooth, there's no stuttering, and it just looks and works a lot better. Another thing is when you move tiles around, it moves so much better now. It's kind of hard to, once again, show on video, but for those of you who move tiles around on, Nodo and your current devices, you'll know sometimes it gets stuck at the top of the screen. Now, for some reason, moving tiles, well, I know the reason, they fixed it, but moving tiles now is actually like a lot easier and just works better. And so that's an example of those kind of little things. Another one would be when you go to power off the device, you get this cool little drop-down slide screen. Kind of like the start screen, but you slide all the way down to power off. Kind of a neat addition. Speaking of the start screen, or rather the lock screen rather, here's an example. You got your Zune Player at the top now. The buttons are embedded in the screen, which is kind of nice. And when I hit play, it brings down the artist's info, or rather the picture. And that's an option. You don't have to have this enabled. Of course I do. Pause, and it goes away. Very cool, very fluid, just one of those pretty things that they've added to the operating system. Speed is also improved. Let's see if I can bring up the WP Central app. Now it's not so much in loading, although it is a little bit faster, but mostly when the app exits, it's a lot quicker. I'll try to show that, let these update. You also see in our app too, scrolling is a lot better. Going to show you any kind of stuttering issue that happens in the app is actually just part of Nodo and Mango. Well, okay, so we're both loaded now. Let's see if I can exit at the same time. You'll see how much quicker Mango exits. It looks like they removed some of the animation for exiting. And so everything goes about a half second faster. Not much time, but I'm telling you, when you use this every day, you notice a difference and it works very well. Let's go to the settings. Here's the lock wallpaper. Over here is the option for disabling or enabling artist info. When we go to change wallpaper, there's actually like a hidden album now. It's called wallpaper. And if you look at that, they give you a bunch of wallpapers, including the solid ones you've seen, which match your theme and accent color, which is kind of nice. But there's a bunch of different ones, and they're all, nice little punny face. I actually kind of like this one a lot. So that's a nice option that we didn't know about before. Let's see, battery saver. So let me zoom in here so you can kind of read this. This is a great one. So basically what happens is you can enable this feature, and at about 20% of your battery level, the automatic processes on the phone will shut down, meaning your automatic email check, programs running in the background, and all those other services will stop running. Of course, you can manually check your email and manually do everything else, but this will help prolong battery life. You can also force enable that right now just by checking that box. And what happens, there's more info down here, you'll see the battery info. I have 92% left, 1 day, 8 hours of battery time. It was 4 hours since I last charged, but when I disable the power saver, you can see, oh, did it change? Usually this actually changed, oh yeah. Yeah, 1 day 8 hours, 1 day 4 hours. So you can see the difference in battery life that you get from disabling, like say, automatic email check. You also will have in the top screen right there on the battery, you can kind of make it out. There's a little heart over the battery to let you know it's enabled. Let's see, under system, where is it? No, background tasks here. Although we don't have any programs right now that are doing this, in the future you'll be able to enable and disable whatever programs are running in the background to save battery life. That's going to be presumably for third-party apps and new ones that are coded. You'll also notice this screen here, buttons are much bigger now for the Zune Player versus that one, which of course I actually don't have music loaded. Let me get those up. So you can see the difference between the two. Oops. You also notice the volume now has changed, so it's a numeric instead of a graph. And with the bigger buttons, it definitely makes it easier. Plus, you can just hop right now to the Zune Player, which is a nice option. That goes to show you part of how notifications are going to work on the system too, where it's going to enable you to click deeper into apps for deep linking. There's also a lot of other subtle changes. Here on the Photo Hub, you'll see it slowly scrolls and cycles through your photos. Kind of nice. On your People button, the animation is slightly different there too. Of course, it's still doing the tiles, but it sometimes forms a larger tile with people. Let's see if that'll come up on there. So this is like what I'm talking about. There's a lot of small changes that are kind of nice. Yeah, so there we go, is a bigger tile. Camera, let's hop to one that always angers people. So what are the changes to camera? Quite a few actually. First of all, we hit settings. And you can see now we have save settings right there. Restore default. And of course now this is a Samsung one, so they have their anti-shaking, a couple of the extra features. That works very well. When you go to take a photo though, you can of course still use the hardware button, but now you can just tap the screen anywhere and it'll focus and automatically take the picture. And of course you didn't hear a shutter sound because I was able to disable that. That's an option now too. When you go to edit a photo, we can go over here and you can have auto fix now. Automatically adjust the contrast and brightness. For Windows mobile users, you'll be familiar with that. You can save, exit. This also uses wallpaper, share on Facebook, share, delete, add to favorites. What about multitasking? Of course, we got that here. That works by holding the back button down, and you can cycle through your cards. So there you go. That works pretty well. Now, a lot of people are wondering, how do you get rid of these cards if you didn't want it? And it's kind of simple actually. When you're in the program, if you hit the Windows button, it will show up in the cards. If you hit the back button, that's what clears it out. So you see now email isn't in there anymore. Overall, it works pretty well. Although I notice on some apps, including ours, it still has to refresh. So this happens with games too, actually. So I'm not sure if that's because some of these apps need to be coded with the new 7.1 SDK, or if that's just a side effect of the system. Windows Phone native apps don't do this. Let's see if I can manually refresh here. And there it goes. That'll fix it. Overall, multitasking works pretty well. It's, a smart multitasking, meaning it's not truly running in the background. It kind of freezes where the app is and helps conserve memory. But it works fairly decently. I'd definitely say switch between email and, say, my Go Voice application or SMS. It's definitely a lot better. Don't want to watch that. But overall, they have done a really nice job with this. Now, this is a preview release, meaning it's not complete. And so there are some features missing, including the Facebook chat and Twitter integration. Although you can see where the Twitter is starting to fit in. They have some of it already set up, but it's not complete yet. So tune in to the rest of our videos where we're going to go over Internet Explorer, the Xbox Hub, Office stuff, the Bing Scout, and hands-free voice communication stuff. So it's very cool, and make sure you read the whole article. There you go. Take care, everybody.